this week's lesson is a continuation of what I was touching on last week, to do with the way I use chromaticism in my playing, and how you can take one or two notes maybe out of the chromatic scale to just make your playing sound a little bit more interesting. And that lick is just another example of how I use chromaticism, but I've only used 2 or 3 notes out of the chromatic scale maybe. But the idea of this lick was to sort of hide them, as it were, so you don't really know where they are, but they are there. I can show you an example of, well, the example of where exactly they are. The first, it opens with, I think it's like, it's not quite the minor arpeggio, it's not quite the minor D arpeggio. It's more of a, I think it's a D minor 7th. So we're starting what's interesting there is what I'm doing is I'm doing a sort of a triplet coming down. So you're going in quite a solid time going up, and on there you've got a little bit of a triplety thing. See what I mean? And then what it's doing is it's going up to this sort of half diminished. Well, obviously quite chromatic, but I've hidden it sort of between doing with all of the sweeps. I've got a tiny little sweep coming down, just, and then that last little bend up. It's obviously, I'm using that bend in a chromatic way. If you see the notes I was using for that little sweep down, the middle one is there on 15. But what I'm doing on that last bend is going from 16 up to 17. So that's quite an interesting way to hide it. It sounds chromatic in a way, but it's not in an, well, not in an obvious way, which is sort of what I'm trying to do with this. And that last little lick coming down again is to demonstrate how you can use a chromaticism without it sounding too obvious. Now this one in particular is used a lot in jazz. It's that sort of it's sort of like the passing note that people use in jazz. My last little bit is here's the lick slowly a couple of times, and then I'll build it up to speed. handy to sort of show you how you can use chromaticism, but not in an obvious way. That quite interests me because I can find chromaticism sometimes to be quite boring and linear. If you know the kind of one I mean. Again, going back to the sort of it can sound quite but if you try and use it quite sparingly, it can pay off. So yeah, any other questions or feedback would be more than welcome.